I think we have seen an unprecedented effort to not only dismantle the federal government, but the kind of self-dealing that, let's all be honest, we saw a lot of that during the first Trump administration, but we never saw an unelected billionaire placed in a key decision-making role that would literally be dismantling wholesale agencies, cutting thousands of federal jobs, ending contracts, data mining, federal data, who had direct financial conflicts of interest with the federal government. And so I want to ask the sponsor of the bill, we've seen, for example, just a couple of weeks ago, as the FAA was infiltrated by DOGE and by Elon Musk, it's my understanding that he replaced the communications contract for the FAA with his own Starlink program. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it's also my understanding that Mr. Elon Musk, who has also infiltrated NOAA, which is the agency that does our weather service and tells the Americans and the world that, what's going to happen with the weather, that there's also indications inside the agency that he would like to have SpaceX become the primary contractor for the satellite systems for NOAA. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we've also heard that Mr. Elon Musk, who the DOD secretary almost gave access to secret war plans for China last week, is also angling to get billions of dollars in new contracts under the Department of Defense. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So I don't know about all of you guys, but this sure looks like a scam to me. Right, they're calling it waste, fraud, and abuse, but really what we see is a special government employee who's a private businessman. He's the wealthiest man in the world, and he is literally infiltrating these federal agencies that he has a personal financial interest in. He's cutting the programs, he's eliminating staff, and then he is essentially positioning himself to put into place private contracts. Now, I also want to take a minute to talk about some of the social programs that we're also highly concerned about, because as we know, our colleagues across the aisle passed a resolution, a budget framework a couple of weeks ago here in the House that is setting the stage for one of the largest tax breaks in American history to go to billionaires. So they're robbing the federal government. They're getting ready to give themselves massive multi-billion-dollar contracts, and then they're going to rob our most vulnerable members of our communities, low-income families. They're going to dismantle the Medicaid system. Now they're talking openly about dismantling Social Security, and then they're going to take those so-called savings, which are you, the American people, and give permanent tax breaks to the same guy that is dismantling the federal government and giving himself private contracts. This is a total scam, a total scam. Folks need to wake up. This is not about waste, fraud, and abuse. This is a scam. They are running a scam on the American people and on the federal government. And what this bill does, because we had a little bit of debate about this earlier, they're saying, oh, this just preserves congressional authority. This doesn't actually expand any authority. If that was true, then why the hell would you want to try to pass this bill? And if you read the underlying statute, since my colleague across the aisle alleged that I don't have good reading comprehension, we downloaded the original statute with the amendments that the underlying bill that is being heard here today would do to the underlying statute. And what it does is it eliminates Senate authority to stop this bad stuff from happening, because it essentially only requires a simple majority resolution in the Senate to gut hundreds of years of federal statutes creating agencies that help the American people so that Elon Musk can make more money. And that is what this bill is all about.